I found myself in that place between awake and asleep. When I opened my eyes, I was in a room full of files. There were boxes and cabinets and folders everywhere. There were boxes with all sorts of titles, people I've made fun of, and they got as specific as sarcastic comments I've made in attempts to be funny. The first box I looked in said things I've yelled at my siblings. I pulled out a sheet and was shocked by how blatant it was. It was cruel. Then I realized I had said it. I pulled out another, and it was equally as bad. I was stunned by the amount of cards in that room. Who wrote them, I wondered. Then I realized that they were in my own handwriting, and each one of them had my signature at the bottom. I pulled out one of the files I had read, and in shame and anger, I crumpled it up and threw it away. But when I reached back in the box, I pulled out the exact same file. I was shocked. Next, I opened the drawer that was labeled Songs I've Listened to. It was huge. I pulled out a few songs, and each one brought back memories. Then I realized there was a second drawer. There were so many songs. Next, I came to the drawer marked Envious Thoughts. I pulled it open slightly, afraid to see how big it actually was. When I saw it, I just got ticked. No one should read these. I had to get rid of these files. I slammed the door shut and was furious. I took my anger out on the room. When my rage had passed, I realized what I had done and I slumped down to the ground. Put my head down in my lap. But when I opened my eyes, the room was back to exactly as it was before. Something bigger was happening here. Then something caught my eye. A small silver box. It was marked, People I've Told About My Faith. I opened it fearfully. I saw the number of cards and put it back, ashamed. At that point, I fell apart. I was so ashamed of so many of the cards. Tears streamed down my face, and I cried. Soon, I tried to face myself in the mirror, and when I did, I was shocked. No, not him, I thought. I looked behind me, and he wasn't there. But when I turned back around, he walked up and put his hand on my shoulder. I couldn't bear to face him. He then started to look through the boxes. He seemed to instinctively go to the worst ones. He then took a file out of a box and took out a pen and signed his name over mine. He took out a second file, and I tried to stop him. I couldn't bear to have the name of Jesus on my thoughts. He took it back gently, and again, he signed it with his own blood. He went on, and in no time, had signed every card. He then picked me up off the floor and said,
"It is finished."
We left the room together, and we left the door open, for there were still more files to be written.
St. Wendelin High School is a place where people are not afraid to talk about their faith. I personally have been able to expand the number of cards in my People I've Told About My Faith box, and I'm proud of that. Because in the end, Christ is the reason for our school.